Right now, I just want to get some tips on basically putting my life on hold, whether or not to move. Basically, I have a daughter, and I want to be in her life. At the same time, I have a job that is really crippling me and has a lot of negativity involved. It's not adding any value to my life, and the time with my daughter is limited. So if you can give any tips on putting what you value and kind of chasing after that, as opposed to holding on to a job which contains your, I have my health insurance, my life insurance, car insurance, all that stuff through them. How long do you really want to put that stuff on hold?
So, John, you talk about this quite a bit on your show, which folks can check out on YouTube, by the way. People call in all the time, and some of the craziest calls is like, my wife has cheated on me 3 times today, and also my boss fired me this morning. What do I do? and so you deal with some of these complex problems, but like what Justin is saying here, your book really covers this because you talk about the stories that we tell ourselves. And right now, one of the stories is he's given himself the either or story. And so maybe what would you say to Justin?
Anytime you've backed yourself into an either or corner, you need to go talk to somebody because you've limited your options moving forward, and very, very rarely do we only have 2 options moving forward. Very, very rarely. I would love for, was his name Justin?
Yeah.
I'd love for Justin to go back and listen to the call because he answers it himself. He is drowning himself with car insurance and health insurance and a 401 match. He knows that he's dying. Yet he lives in a culture where the story used to be our religious institutions told us what to wear, what to believe, how to function, who got to own property, who didn't, all the stuff. And we pulled the thread on that one. And then we moved to you complete me to our spouses. We dumped everything on them. And that one lasted about 25 years, and we've looked around, we've burned our spouses to the ground, right? Yeah. And our last great bastion of human connection is work. And so now we've taken our identities and our self-worth and everything about us, and we've dumped it into the workplace and said, y'all solve us. And so he has a little girl who is saying to herself every day, what is it about that place that is more lovable than me? And he is asking himself, why am I doing this? And he can't unhook himself from that last great vacuum, right? It's like, it reminds me of Spaceballs with Mega Maid. She's just like sucking that dude in, right? Like, he asks, when should I? Right now. Right now. And if you have to sell your house and move to a 1-bedroom apartment to reconnect with your daughter and work down the street for $14 an hour, right now. And you will find peace and freedom and a clarity to then say, what do I do next? But dude, right now, you know what I mean? You don't have time to wait on those kind of calls.
Yeah, it's, I don't know, it makes me think of when I first started the whole minimalism journey. We started the blog. I was still working at my corporate job for about a year, and then I got laid off. And, luckily I had been preparing myself to leave that job eventually. And the amount of clarity that I was able to gain after I got laid off, just kind of seeing a path forward and looking at different options, I never would have seen those different options if I didn't get laid off. Yeah. And thank God they laid me off, because I kept telling myself, oh, I'll quit next month. No, I'll put in my 2 weeks notice next month. Yeah. And I kept putting it off, and it was kind of forced upon me. But, really what Justin's looking for here is security. He's looking for some certainty, and we all need some security and certainty. And he's finding it right now in health insurance and car insurance and the 401k match. But, Justin, I would challenge you to look at what are your bare necessities to really feel secure, because a 401k match, it's a great thing.
Awesome.
It's amazing. But you don't need that to feel secure.
Yeah. There's a very interesting phrase that he used in the call when he's considering putting his life on hold. And what I would say is you've already done that. And so why not consider taking your life off hold?
Yeah, push play on your life. Yeah.
It's time to press play. It may not look like what society has dictated with the 401k match and the so-called perfect job, because guess what? That perfect job is making you miserable. So how perfect could it be? Did you enjoy this standalone Patreon highlight? If so, you can listen to full episodes of the Minimalist Private Podcast, available exclusively on Patreon. Visit patreon.com/theminimalists or click the link in the description. Your support keeps our podcast and YouTube channel 100% advertisement free.